Hey everyone, I'm Paul, and today I'm replacing the front door speakers in my RAV4. In episode 17, I installed a new radio and 4 speakers in my car, and I think I did a good job, but there are a couple things I don't like, and I can do better. Here's what I have now. This is a Kenwood media player. It doesn't play CDs, but I have Bluetooth, USB, and an aux input. The old radio was a hot mess. One of the speakers worked part of the time, and there was a giant rat's nest of the world's cheapest car stereo equipment stuffed under the dashboard. I made some custom enclosures and installed some 6x9s in the door. I made fun of the strange tweeter placement with the previous stereo and plugged the holes in the dash, but didn't do anything to correct it. You see, my ankles can't hear at all, so these two-way speakers aren't doing much good down here. In episode 20, I installed sound deadening insulation, but I went a little overboard and added a second layer to the door panels. Now the doors are too heavy and slam shut if I park on a hill. Okay, let's get started. I bent a small right angle into this pick to get the window crank clip out. This is the hardest part of removing the door panel. Put the clip back on the crank so you don't lose it. The mirror trim has one push pin holding it in at the top. Remove the screw from the door handle trim, then pry it above the lock and below the handle. It hooks in at the front, so slide it toward the back of the car to get it out. Pry from the bottom of the decorative cap to remove it. This screw has a special washer built in. Remove 2 screws from the door pull handle. The lower panel has 2 screws if you have a 2-door and just 1 screw if you have the 4-door RAV4. I'm removing the 6x9s for 2 reasons. First, the speaker placement is down by my feet and I can't hear them. Second, they're rated at 75 watts and my radio puts out 22 watts per speaker. They don't get anywhere near full volume before the sound gets distorted by the weak amplifier. Pull the door panel away from the door to release all the push clips. Then grab the panel by the big handle and pull it straight up to release it from the window track. Adding sound deadening to this panel was silly. It's supposed to go on metal body panels. The only thing it does here is make the door heavy. A bunch of small screws attach the speaker grille and storage compartment to the cardboard door card material. I want to go back to a stock appearance, so I'm reinstalling the Toyota speaker grille, but it looks kind of funny. What's going on with the back of it here? I removed almost 3 pounds of sound deadening from the door panel, and the custom speaker holder is heavy too. I took more than 5 pounds total off each door. I don't have the plastic layer on my door anymore, but I think I can accomplish the same thing by spray painting the cardboard panel. If it's waterproof already, I don't need plastic, right? These speaker holders are from a RAV4 with manual windows. Both sides are the same. They're tilted in the door, so you can read the letter L or R. The RAV4 with power windows got bigger speakers in the front doors. The smaller speaker holder measures 4.75 inches, so that means it takes a 5.25-inch speaker. My previous ghetto stereo had 4-inch speakers, so I was fooled and told all of you that the RAV4 takes 4-inch speakers in the front doors. Sorry about that. The larger speaker holders come in the RAV4 with power windows. This hole measures 6 inches and takes a 6.5-inch speaker. It doesn't matter if you have a 2-door or a 4-door. What matters is manual windows versus power windows. I enjoy putting the wrong parts on things, so here I'm installing the bigger speaker holder in my car. It bolts right up. Let's do a test fit of the door panel. It's close, but the speaker holder doesn't quite fit. I'll mark the parts that need to be trimmed. I pulled the vinyl back away from the cardboard and I'm using a Dremel tool to remove just a little bit of material. I put a few drops of super glue on the vinyl and I'm folding it back over the door card backing. Add a little Gorilla Tape and it's ready. This time the door panel fits. Now let's fix that speaker grille. I don't know what Toyota was thinking with this off-center thing with not enough holes. This speaker grille has 325 real holes and 221 holes that don't go through. 221 out of 546 means 40% of the holes have to be drilled out to finish this speaker grill. Using a brand new, sharp drill bit will save you a lot of work because it will make cleaner holes. I'm using a Dremel carving bit to trim the extra fuzzies that got left by the drill bit. This bit is designed to cut sideways and does a great job grabbing the extra plastic out of the holes. Here's a before and after comparison. The holes aren't perfectly clean, but it will work just fine. Fun fact, the manual window speaker grill is the same on 2-door and 4-door models. Let's install it on the door panel. A bunch of small Phillips screws hold the speaker grill and storage compartment on the door card. I recommend doing this by hand so you don't strip them out. I bought component speakers this time and installed tweeters into the mirror trim. I left a little extra wire length and ran the tweeter wire down into the speaker holder. I shortened the wires but left enough hanging out to make it easy to plug the tweeter into the woofer. I always solder and use heat shrink to make sure I have a good connection. I soldered the Toyota speaker connector onto the woofer, and the little spades will plug into the other set of connectors on the speaker. I oriented the connectors to the front of the door to keep them away from the moving window regulator and glass, then used the same screws that hold the speaker grill and storage compartment. Now the door panel is ready to go back on. Snap the top in first and install the mirror trim piece. Fit the grill over the speaker, then snap the edges of the door panel in. Tip the front of the door handle trim in to hook it in place, then snap it in above the lock tab and below the handle pivot. Then install the 4 big screws. I'm leaving the window crank off for now.
To RAV4s and shit. tweeters sound great, especially the tweeters. They're up high where I can hear them. Unfortunately, the woofers are still down low. They're not that great. But luckily, in the two-door RAV4, the rear speakers are up high where you can hear them really well. In the four-door RAV4, they're down low in the cargo area. That's not ideal. Everything sounds good, but there's one problem left. I'm hearing a little bit of a buzzing noise coming from the back. So let's find out what's causing that. The best way to find noise in your car stereo is by using an online tone generator. Here we have it set to 440 hertz. Let's see what happens. Okay. That's 1 kilohertz. Oh! Ah! That sounds so loud. Okay, here we have a bass note. Not too bad, I'm not hearing any buzzing. Let's go a little lower. And now I hear some buzzing. Okay, now we have the noise. It's the storage doors.
Toyota knew these would rattle, so there's felt in the corners. I bought some foam weather strip with adhesive backing from Home Depot and added it to the corners of the storage doors. Let's put the door back in and see what happens. It's better, but there's still some noise. It's right here where the upper and lower panels are touching. Let's add a little bit of foam between them. That's better. I'm also getting noise from the front door panels. I bet some sound deadening insulation would fix this. This dense foam pad came with a lithium motorcycle battery as a spacer. It should keep pressure on the door panel.
Okay, let's try that again. And there's a lot less noise in this car. 70 hertz seems to be the resonant frequency of most of the panels in my car. And the way sound deadening insulation works, it makes each panel heavier, so it can change the resonant frequency, but it also takes more energy to make that panel vibrate. So right now my car is pretty good, but if I add more power, like if I add a subwoofer to the stereo system, I'll be back in here looking for noises again. While we're in here, I have a pro tip for you. If you want the best sound quality, don't use Bluetooth audio. Instead, connect your phone directly to the radio with headphone jack plugs, or better yet, use a USB cable for a digital connection, and it'll charge your phone.
Now that I'm done taking the door panels on and off, I can install the window cranks. Start without the clip and find the right position when the window is closed. I think the crank looks best when it's up and slightly forward like this. Now let's put that clip on and reinstall the crank. Alright, the stereo is done and to my liking at the moment, and this is video number 34 that I've done on this car. If you're new here, check out my RAV4 playlist and you'll find 33 more repair videos. I bought this car 3.5 years ago in the summer of 2017 with 149,000 miles, and this car was completely ruined. It's shocking how much damage a car can accumulate in 20 years. I fixed so many things, and this car still has 100 more problems. The good news is I'll just keep making these videos, and if you guys want to help me out, make sure you're subscribed to my channel, and if you're feeling generous, follow the link in the description to my Patreon, where you can throw me a couple bucks and I'll promptly waste that money on this car. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.